Arizona has a really classy pastor by the name of Steven Anderson, and he's really concerned about the AIDS epidemic, right? He wants to figure it out. He wants to eradicate it. And so he has a really, really interesting solution to the problem. Take a look.
Approximately 1.6% of the U.S. population will identify themselves as a homo. And 0.7% are bi. Well, you know, that means nothing to me. They're all bi as far as I don't. Anybody who's a homo or bi, it's all the same category. Sodomite is what the Bible would call them. Turn to Leviticus 20:13 because I actually discovered the cure for AIDS, okay? Now, everybody's talking about let's have an AIDS-free world by 2020 or let's have an AIDS-free... Look, we could have an AIDS-free world by Christmas. Here's what the Bible says, Leviticus 20:13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with the woman, okay, it says, even both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And that, my friend, is the cure for AIDS. It was right there in the Bible all along. Because if you executed the homos like God recommends, you wouldn't have all this AIDS running rampant.
So that's his solution to dealing with AIDS, executing gay people, because that's the only type of people that are infected with HIV and AIDS, right? Just gay people.
Yeah, now actually more heterosexuals are infected worldwide than homosexuals. So it's weird that he got some of his facts wrong. It seemed like he'd done a lot of research with those 0.7 and all those different percentages that he was throwing around.
Do you know that he advertises himself as someone who doesn't have a college ID but memorized certain parts of the Bible by heart?
Yeah, no, he didn't get an education, but he says I think 140 books of the Bible he has memorized by heart. And so that'll do it. What's weird is that I presume Leviticus is one of those, right? Mm-hmm. Because he was quoting Leviticus, that he didn't just read a little further down in Leviticus where it said that eating shellfish is an abomination. Mm-hmm. So I have a cure for red lobster. Let's execute all the people who eat shrimp and lobster and oysters and crab and clams and all. Let's just execute them all because it's in Leviticus. Okay. Every time you say that, people always want to go, "Come on, Jack." Mm-hmm. But what does that mean? Come on,
I don't want to say "come on." I get hungry. Like I just got hungry right now.
But they feel like that's an unfair example. No, it's the fairest example in the world. It says it's an abomination just as much as it says being gay is an abomination. It says you should be murdered just as much as it says you should be killed for having sex with a man, right? So you just choose to ignore that part. And this pastor chooses to ignore that part because he'd have to kill almost his entire congregation, right?
Exactly.
And this guy is a perfect case of the American Taliban. And people are always talking about, oh my God, it's the Muslims. You see that Muslims, the religion intrinsically is more violent. No. It's a matter of which parts you choose to emphasize and what your socioeconomic, your political, and all the different contexts that you live in. But the religion itself is, read them. The Old Testament, New Testament, Quran, they're all violent. And look, the Old Testament is the most violent. It's even more violent than the Quran. Even Sam Harris says that, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, the New Testament is less violent, but it also has a sword. It also has a death. And it also has the part where we almost all die at the end, mm-hmm. right, when Jesus comes back. So no, there's nothing more intrinsically violent about Islam. There's guys like this running around who read the Bible and go, well, I should kill all the gays. That's my solution. I
think he's just gay, right?
Okay, and then there's that. Right. Look, it's a good theory we talk about on the show all the time, which is that there's a reason why these guys picked that part of the Leviticus out and not the part about shellfish.
Obsess about it, just obsess about. I mean, oftentimes when you hear about the right wing condemning gay people, they get into the nitty gritty of gay sex. Like that's where their mind immediately goes. Like they can't get enough of it. And then it goes there, and then it goes there.
Right.
And then he really likes it, and I really want to try it, but I can't.
Right. And so this is about self-hatred, but it does affect other people, and that's what the problem is. Like, look, I would be surprised if that guy didn't have what he would describe as sodomite thoughts, mm-hmm. right? He's like, gay, bi. I mean, they're all bi, right? Because he thinks, I can do with women. I have, and I like men. So they're all bi, aren't they? Like me, right? That's why he frames it that way. It doesn't matter. They're all sodomites, right? Because that's the thing I'm obsessing about: sodomy, right?
Yeah.
So let's go kill them all.